The lights inside the arena were blinding. Thousands of fans were screaming, phones raised high, waiting for the next note from Il Volo to echo across the stage. Everything looked perfect from the audience's perspective. The harmonies were flawless. The smiles looked natural. The chemistry felt untouched. But for a few seconds during one stop on their tour, something happened that most people watching completely missed. And the tension in that moment said more than any interview ever could. It started during what was supposed to be one of the smoothest parts of the performance. The trio had already delivered several emotional songs that night. Fans were completely locked in. Piero Barone looked focused, powerful, almost unusually serious compared to his normal stage energy. Ignazio Boschetto was trying to keep the mood light with his usual playful expressions, while Gianluca Ginoble stayed calm and controlled, almost acting like the emotional bridge holding everything together. Then came the awkward moment. At first, it looked tiny, almost invisible. One of those things you'd only notice if you replayed the footage multiple times. During the transition between songs, Ignazio turned toward Piero, seemingly expecting him to say something to the audience like they normally do during concerts. But instead of responding immediately, Piero hesitated. Not for long, maybe 2 seconds, but on a live stage, in front of thousands of people, 2 seconds can feel like forever. Ignazio smiled, but it wasn't the relaxed smile fans were used to seeing. It looked forced. Gianluca quickly stepped in and started talking to the audience before the silence became obvious. The crowd cheered, the music resumed, and the show moved forward like nothing happened. Most fans never even noticed. But online, the people who did notice could not stop talking about it. Within hours, clips from the concert started circulating across fan pages and discussion groups. Some people called it exhaustion. Others believed it was frustration. A few fans even claimed the group looked emotionally distant for most of the night. And honestly, when you look closely, the atmosphere during that performance did feel different. Not dramatic, not explosive, just off. The kind of tension that exists when people have spent too much time together without a real break. Touring looks glamorous from the outside. Private jets, sold-out arenas, luxury hotels, fans screaming every night. But people rarely talk about the mental pressure that comes with being in the same group for years, while constantly traveling from city to city with almost no personal space. For Il Volo, that pressure becomes even heavier because of how long they've been together. They didn't become a group recently. They practically grew up together in front of the world. Every disagreement, every personality change, every stressful moment happens under cameras and fan expectations. That kind of lifestyle can slowly create emotional distance, even between people who genuinely care about each other. And during this particular tour stop, fans believe that emotional exhaustion finally leaked onto the stage for a brief second. The strange part wasn't just the silence, it was the body language afterward. Piero seemed unusually detached for the next few minutes of the concert. Ignazio kept trying to interact with him during the performance, but the responses looked minimal. Meanwhile, Gianluca appeared to be managing the energy of the entire stage, almost by himself. Again, nothing major happened. No argument, no visible fight, no dramatic walk-off moment. But longtime fans notice these things because they know the trio's normal chemistry better than anyone. One fan online wrote that it felt like watching 3 people trying very hard to pretend everything was completely fine. Another fan defended them immediately, saying people were overanalyzing normal human behavior after months of non-stop touring. And honestly, both sides may have a point, because there's another layer to this story that makes the moment even more interesting. Earlier in the tour, fans had already started noticing subtle changes in how the trio interacted during interviews. Some conversations felt less spontaneous. Certain jokes didn't land the way they used to. There were moments where one member looked mentally somewhere else, while another tried to keep the energy alive. None of it was enough to spark real concern at first. But after this awkward concert moment surfaced online, people started connecting everything together. Suddenly, old interview clips were being analyzed. Fans revisited backstage footage. Comment sections exploded with theories about possible creative disagreements, burnout, or even frustration about the future direction of the group. And once fans start searching for tension, they begin finding evidence everywhere. One particularly viral clip showed Piero standing silently during a backstage interaction, while Ignazio and Gianluca laughed about something off-camera. Another showed Gianluca attempting to lighten the mood during a radio interview, while the others appeared unusually quiet. Again, these moments could mean absolutely nothing. But in fandom culture, small details become massive stories overnight, especially when emotions are already running high. What made the situation even more uncomfortable was how quickly fans split into sides online. Some people blamed Piero for appearing distant. Others defended him, saying he simply looked exhausted and emotionally drained from the intensity of towering. A separate group claimed Ignazio seemed frustrated throughout multiple performances. And somehow, Gianluca became viewed as the peacekeeper, trying to stabilize things whenever awkwardness appeared. The truth is probably far less dramatic than the internet wants it to be. But the reason this story exploded is because people are emotionally attached to Il Volo beyond just the music. Fans don't only love their songs, they love the brotherhood, the chemistry, the feeling that these three men genuinely enjoy being together after all these years. So the moment fans sense even a small crack in that image, emotions instantly intensify. And honestly, that's what made this particular moment feel so uncomfortable to watch after noticing it. Not because something shocking happened, but because the silence felt real. There was no polished TV editing, no carefully prepared interview response, just a raw few seconds on stage where the energy suddenly shifted. And sometimes, moments like that reveal more than words ever can. What's even more interesting is how the trio handled themselves afterward. None of them addressed the moment publicly. No defensive posts, no vague messages online, no attempt to shut down fan speculation. They simply continued the tour, concert after concert, city after city, smiling on stage, hitting impossible vocal notes, acting professional. And maybe that professionalism is exactly why the moment stood out so much in the first place. Because Il Volo has built a reputation for appearing almost untouchable on stage. Their performances are usually polished to perfection. Even when technical problems happen, they recover smoothly without making the audience uncomfortable. So when fans suddenly witnessed a brief emotional disconnect, it felt unusual enough to become unforgettable. Some concert attendees later admitted they felt tension in the arena even before the clip went viral online. One fan described the atmosphere as strangely emotional, almost like everyone on stage was mentally exhausted. Another said the trio still sounded incredible vocally, but the warmth between them felt slightly reduced compared to previous tours. Of course, Touring fatigue is completely normal. Most people underestimate how brutal long tours actually are. Sleeping in different cities every few nights, constant rehearsals, interviews, sound checks, travel delays, jet lag, pressure from fans, pressure from management, pressure to deliver emotionally every single night, no matter how you personally feel. After years of doing this together, even the strongest groups experience moments where exhaustion becomes visible. And perhaps that's why this story connected with so many people. Because beneath the fame and glamour, fans suddenly saw something human. Not perfect celebrities, not polished performers, just three people trying to carry the weight of a massive tour while staying emotionally connected under constant pressure. Ironically, the awkward moment may have made fans feel even more attached to them afterward. Because perfection can feel distant, but vulnerability feels real. The clip continued spreading for days, eventually reaching audiences who weren't even hardcore fans of Il Volo. Reaction channels began discussing it. Fan accounts posted slowed down, edits, analyzing facial expressions and body language. Some creators even claimed the moment hinted at deeper problems behind the scenes, but without direct confirmation from the group, everything remained speculation. Still, one thing became impossible to ignore. People were paying closer attention to Il Volo than ever before after that night. Every concert clip started receiving more analysis. Every interview expression became a discussion topic. Fans watched interactions carefully, searching for reassurance that the chemistry was still genuine. And eventually, newer performances began calming some of the concerns. The trio appeared more relaxed again, more connected, more natural. There were playful moments on stage that reminded fans why they fell in love with the group years ago. But even then, the awkward moment never completely disappeared from discussion circles. Because once fans notice something emotional, they rarely forget it.